So my name is Chef Anthony Thomas, and I have the pleasure of sitting down with
Mr. Diya.
And it's an episode of A Day in Our Shoes.
Hey, I gotta give you a props on that. I like that name.
Yeah.
It really, you know what I'm saying, captures really how we work. It's just two men, two black men, you know, coming together and really just discussing the daily things we go through.
Absolutely.
Every day.
I'm Chef Anthony Thomas. I'm a 33-year-old private chef based out of Washington, D.C. I travel from here, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and I'm also willing to travel outside of that area to provide a culinary experience. Private events, personal events inside of your home, at a venue, weddings, private parties, baby showers, anything of that such. I also provide detox juice cleanses, which are helping people with diabetes, arthritis, gout, depression, mood swings, high blood pressure, all things of those such. And also doing speaking engagements, letting people know about how to get on a healthy eating track, how to count your macros, how to count your calories, so you can enter a caloric deficit and ultimately lose unnecessary weight that you're trying to get rid of, stubborn weight.
Okay.
So tell them who you are.
Man, I'm Mr. Diya. For starters, I'm sure you guys have seen me around. Assistant to this great guy right here, this great chef right here, sous chef. We've been running about 5 years strong. I've been working with him, and it is just wonderful. Like these events, we come provide an experience. I've yet to have left an event where they're not like it's static. Just about our services, by our demeanor, by our attitude. So I can say that's been great. Like, you know, working alongside with you. I'm also in the transport, you know, the transport business as far as transporting cars and also, you know, driving vans, Medicaid patients, stuff of that nature. So I'm pretty much I'm an entrepreneur type of guy. I'm in different avenues. Yeah, I'm well rounded.
So I want to definitely start by, you know, touching on a couple subjects that a lot of people don't really necessarily talk about. You don't really see on television, in movies,
right.
And that would be a lot of issues that we dealt with in the past, and I'm sure you probably dealt with it with police brutality.
Oh man.
Police injustice and police being just not doing their job and providing, you know, dealing with law-abiding citizens as law-abiding citizens.
Right.
So, as we've seen in the media, more so recently, just say within the last previous decade, we've seen George Zimmerman and, you know, him with Trayvon Martin. Then we had Mike Brown, we had Walter Scott, Freddie Gray right up the street in Baltimore. And there's countless names of individuals who dealt with police just not serving the community the way that they should. I can name one off the top of my head. And I have a photographic memory, so I remember these instances like it were nothing. I was on 202.
Okay.
Driving towards the old First Baptist. And it was raining. It was raining outside.
Towards Glenarden.
Towards
Glenarden. You gotta let them know, because some of the people might not know. That's Glenarden is a predominantly black area. Does have a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty high crime rate.
But for the most, but there are middle class
individuals who live there
now. Right.
But this is prior to them building that nice vicinity over there by community over by Wegmans and whatnot.
Right, exactly. I just wanted to give them a little, because you know some people might not know.
So I was pulled over. It was raining outside. I was pulled over by a PG County police officer.
Who was you driving?
White Crown Vic.
Okay.
White Crown Vic with white rims. And you know what he tells me? He turns the lights on. I pull over. He says, license registration. I give him my driver's license registration. He goes back to his vehicle, he comes back, and he says that your license plate doesn't match your vehicle. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't match my vehicle? He said it's coming back registered to a Jaguar. Driver's license, I said, I've never even owned a Jaguar. Can you please go back and just look a little bit more? Because I felt offended that I knew he was playing with my intelligence.
Right.
He went back to his vehicle, and he sat there for about like 10, 15 minutes. Rain slowed down. He came back. He said, "Nah, you have a nice day."
What did you look like? What was your appearance? What was your how did you look like?
So of course I still had this beard. It was a little bit longer.
Okay.
I had dreadlocks. They were very long at that point in time. Probably about like right here, about shoulder length. And I felt like it was very stereotypical of him to pull me over because of that. Now, I was in the wrong for having illegal tint, but he couldn't tell me I had illegal tint because one thing I did in the rain was wind down all my windows when I was pulled over. And I still would do that to this day. From 2003, when I started growing my dreadlocks, to 2012, I was probably pulled over 2-3 times a week. I'm not joking. 2 to 3 times a week.
What? Right.
One time I was in Montgomery County and got pulled over for playing my music too loud.
Of course you did. It's Montgomery County.
And I don't even know what that infraction was, but there's an infraction that your music is playing too loud.
I think they call it noise disturbance or something.
Something to that effect.
I think I know what you're talking about. All right, back then you had the Crown Vic. I remember you had the rims. You know, you had the Crown Vic, had the big boy rims and all that. I remember that. Now, back then, you know, Crown Vics, Caprices, Impalas, they were, you know, because there were crimes committed, you know, with those type of vehicles. But at the same time, it doesn't shun away from the fact that you're driving, you're on your way wherever you're going, and you're pulling me over just because I have a Crown Vic.
Thank you. So there's a proper way to talk to a police officer. There's a wrong way to talk to a police officer.
Right.
I'll just tell you the right way. Police officers take their job for one reason only, for power.
Right.
For whatever reason, whatever trauma they dealt with in their previous lifestyle, in their previous life, they take this position so they can have power.
Right.
So what you do is you play off of that. You know what, officer, you're right. I was going over the speed limit, and I truly apologize. I'm just trying to get to my destination. Okay. Whatever you come out with, and I'm not saying you have to lie to an officer because that's also a crime as well, but you give them the power. You yelling back at them makes them feel like they have to exert more power, which is why a lot of things transpire with them, and which is why a lot of times I was also taken out of my vehicle, and that's a story for, you know, maybe for later, that, you know, dealing with police officers who exert their power because I was exerting my anger towards them. Right. Hey, officer, I apologize. Right. Matter of fact, I got pulled over about a month ago, and I knew what I was doing. I kind of rolled the shoulder a little bit because there was a little bit of traffic to kind of get around an accident that was transpiring on 495, and an unmarked officer pulled me over. Right. And he said, "License and registration." I said, "Officer, you know," I said my registration is right here. And I said, "Can I grab it right here?" And I said, "Here's my registration." I said, "My insurance card is on my phone. Can I get it out of my pocket?" Right. And I'm talking to him as if he's the person in power, because technically he is. Right. He has a weapon. I don't. Right. So I mean, at the same time, you did something illegal. I mean, you did something illegal. Yeah, exactly.
Do I like the fact of the matter how the police go about pulling us over and pulling, you know, treating people, whether you be a gentleman, lady, you know what I'm saying? But it does happen most of all to us blacks. So I'm gonna just speak on, I mean, I'll shed light on that. But I feel like the officers approaching with the intent that you're belligerent, you're ignorant,
you're under the influence.
You're under the influence.
You have drugs in your vehicle.
You're gonna cuss them out. So with that, it's like
they're already on defense.
It's already on defense. I got my own experience. You know that. I might have told you about it, but I was in Mount Rainier.
My hometown.
Yeah, your hometown. Yes. PG County police come up behind me, pull me over. Mind you, you know how you going through Mount Rainier, there's a lot of stop signs. Yeah. I stopped at every stop sign in 5 seconds, like how I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All that. We finally get to one stop sign and I'm making the right. He makes the right with me and pulls me over. He tells me my tail light is out. So I was like,
so is it the marijuana or the tail light? Which one?
So listen, right? First it was the tail light was the first reason. Then he came back when he went to the car, because I asked him when I was in the car. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Why you pulling me over?" "Oh, because your tail light." Right. Tail light. Mind you, I just got the car. I know everything good. He's like, "I'm gonna need you to turn the car off, step out the car." I said, "Step out the car for what?" He was like, I feel like I think I smell marijuana. I said, "You smell marijuana." Mind you, there's no marijuana in the car. Yeah. Now, mind you, yes, granted, I do smoke. I'm not gonna say and play that. So I did smoke the night before or whatever the case was, but there was no marijuana in the car. So that's why I'm even, when he said it, I'm laughing at him like, Marijuana? Okay. Here we go. I gotta go through the hoops. First of all, the tail light wasn't out, right? But it was the light, you know the light that's in the back seat, that's in the window.
Yeah.
It was on, but it was one bulb that was out in the middle of the jump, dog. And he basically was just like, man, get your tail light fixed. You need to get your tail light fixed. I can give you a ticket, but I'm gonna let you go. You know, mind you, it's like 2, 3. He calls backup as well, so it's like 2, 3 other officers. I was looking at them like, are you serious?
I used to keep a lot. I still to this day keep a lot of those tree air fresheners in my car. Right. I just never throw them away. I put them on side of my turn signal, and I just keep them. They just pile up. And one time I got pulled over, and an officer saw that I had all of these trees. He said, "You know that's illegal to have that many trees in your car." And I said, "I never knew that."
And what law book is
So
that?
he made me take all of my stored up trees over the last 2 years, my air fresheners, new car scent, and black ice. Those only two. That combination right there is like that. And leather is a nice one. But I would pull those off, and I had to give them to him.
I look young. I'm short. You know what I mean? I'm a short guy. I'm a short guy. I can't help it. But I feel like I've always had this look that is like kind of young. It's kind of like misleading, maybe a little bit. Like we don't know what the fuck he like. We don't know.
Like a little old man.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I even like my father used to say it all the time because my father he taught in DC public school system for over 20 years. This was one thing my dad, and this is so funny because I stick to this rule to this day. Never, don't ride deep in your car.
Never. And when you say deep, you gotta let them know. Deep,
no, like when I say, okay, you're right. When I say don't ride with more than 2 people, really, honestly, in your car.
That one extra person in the back seat.
And that is even a problem. That one, and you're right. So 2 really needs to be you and another person.
You and the passenger in the front.
And that's
and
it.
Nobody in the back.
Because he always was like so like hell bent on saying that when you're riding with a lot of people, they coming. They really got a reason to mess with you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even feel comfortable driving like that.
Right.
Like too many people. I start getting. I suffer from claustrophobia because first of all, I didn't ride my first elevator until I was 24. I don't like elevators. Like I just don't like closed, tight spaces. I love saunas, but I don't like going to saunas. Oh, yeah. You know,
you scared to ride elevators?
Not no more. I was at one point. Like I
For real?
Yeah, I wouldn't ride elevators until I was 24 years old.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I think a lot of officers still need, certain training. They need to be still, worked on as far as their, what do they call it? Character.
Ethics, integrity.
Their character.
You need to treat everybody with empathy. To be honest, we're all still human beings. Just because this individual has a badge on doesn't mean that just because we see on TV them doing X, Y, and Z, every officer is not a bad officer. Right. Every officer isn't a good officer, but you'll never find out if you talk to every single individual officer as if every officer is the exact same.
Right.